Hi, my name is Professor David Parent. I'm an EE faculty at San Jose State University, and this is the preparation video to try to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. In other words, it's time to choose your technical electives, and there's another two courses you have a choice between. And I'm just going to generally lead you through what you should be doing and thinking about before you meet with an advisor. If you don't do it, that's okay. It's just you'll get more out of our meeting if I know what you want to do. Then we can come up with a plan for success together. So if you're like me, you probably might be close to graduation, and you didn't think about your career at all. You thought, I'll go into electrical engineering and the jobs will come. And that's true, but you still have to fight for it and prepare for it and things like that. And you need to start thinking about the future. If you are watching this video, graduation's right around the corner. And it's not enough just to be told what to do. Take this course, do well in this course. Now you're going to be choosing courses that will help you for the beginning of your career. And so, as realistic as we try to make our courses are, college is not really working in industry, right? If you're doing research, then you're pretty much getting the academic type job experience, right? But if you're looking for industry, you need to take charge of yourself a little bit more. And so the thing is we can't talk about every single career that's out there in class. You would never graduate, which I'm sure you don't want. So one way to find out what's out there, right? What can you do? You don't know. If you don't know about something, you don't know whether you're interested in it or not. So your first stop is the Career Center, right? And you can see this coming through. And they have career fairs and recruiting and help and things like that. Excuse me. And the thing is you can, all these companies, these are just the highlighted ones, they put their job requests where they want San Jose State students, and you can see what the keywords are for entry-level jobs. And so once you know those keywords, if they sound interesting to you, well, then you can email, during our advising appointment, you'd say, well, I'm interested in these keywords, and then I can choose the tech electives for you, right? You might realize after going to the Career Center that you want to go for your master's degree or your PhD, right? We have many students who are successful PhD students at Stanford, Berkeley, University of Connecticut, all over. And we have many successful students who return here for their master's degree. Sometimes business administration, sometimes something else, right? But really, even if you don't have time for an internship this summer, it's time to start working with the Career Center. And yes, you want to get your resume in order. And even if you're not ready you think you're not ready for an internship or a job, you are ready. They hire, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, right? They hire everybody, but you have to start practicing job interviewing by going to job interviews. It really is a much different experience than taking an exam at school. Sometimes they'll just flat out ask you a question you don't know, and they're really trying to see, how do you think it through, right? Do you get frustrated by having to find out things that you don't know? And you kind of have to come up with your interview persona. It has to be authentic, but it's something that you have to discover for yourself, because you have to be confident but not overconfident. And right now you're probably thinking my advice is somewhat worthless because I'm not giving you a list of exactly how to do it. This is something that's different for everybody, but it can take, it depends on the person, but it can take about 6 months before all of a sudden your resume is right and you're interviewing properly. You're still the same person, but somehow you've got to convince the company to give you a job. And something that I'd like to remind you, the company's got to convince you should take it. You guys are great. Make no mistake about it. And so don't think that the companies have all the cards. If you're, at this point in your career where this message is valid, you are great. And companies should recognize that. So anyway, you can just, it's really better to do this your final year or even before. Don't wait till you walk down the aisle and then come to the Career Center and try to figure out what you want to do. All right. Then another way to find out what's out there, what do you want to do, is IEEE Spectrum, which if you're on campus or behind the firewall, you should have a free subscription to it. And really, you just read through and see what's out there. I don't know. We have a lightning bolt hitting a fuel pump. I don't know. Let's see. That sounds exciting. So you would just click through, right? And you read the title, and you might not understand anything, but you're seeing right here that batteries are important, and that lithium seems to be the best, most economically viable battery right now, and then something about nanoparticles. Okay, so you click through, right? And you just start reading, and it's written at a level that anybody can understand, right? And as you're going through, you might say, I want to work on the battery itself, or all of a sudden the Defense Advanced Research Project is doing something. Oh, I want to work on that. And you're reading through, or you might be reading through, and this is boring to me. I don't want to work on that. Okay. That's quite all right. It can be boring to you. I won't get insulted. AI is hot, right? And so, global project to make general robotic brain. Okay, you click on the article, right? And you just read through and just see, is it interesting to you or not interesting to you? Then you can come to me and say, I'd like to work on robotics. Oh, all right, then I'll give you a list of courses that will support that. I would like to, let's see. I like to work on hybrid airplanes. I like lasers. It's sad because when I start doing this speech, I really just want to stop what I'm doing and read the articles. They look interesting. But you can see how electrical engineering affects everything in the world, right? And you just click on things that look interesting to you and come up with some ideas that you want to do, and then let me know. That really helps me prepare. Rather than give you this speech in my office, if you come in and saying, I want to work on this, and I look it up, and then I'll tell you, right? But the thing is if you've done that, you could look at the syllabi of the various courses. Myself, I don't have the link. I just Google SJSU EE and click on the link to the course and say, oh, 130. What's that about, right? Electric machines. So that's kind of like robotics and working for Tesla, or anything that moves with electricity, which is just about everything, right? 134, power electronics. That's more on the PG&E level, right? And you just go through and you can read everything. Right now, EE 182 is IC test And if you really, really need a job, take this course. All right. Anyway, not only that, but you can take graduate courses as well. So let's say you want, I think 225 is quantum now, yeah. See, there's something about quantum mechanics, high-speed circuit design, analog circuit design. And yeah, what is a trend? The CHIPS Act. Circuit design is sexy again. Circuit fabrication is sexy again. They need a lot of people. We have a lot of courses. We just haven't offered them lately because of student interest. And then that leads me to the final thing about choosing your tech electives, is that this is probably the one time where doing what your friends do is not really a bad plan. Because tech electives, if students don't think they're relevant and don't think they're taught well, they don't get offered. The students don't take it. So that if there's a tech elective offered, it'll be good. And many tech electives support multiple career paths. All right. Then there's another, so that's technical electives. Then you have a choice between 132 and 160. 132 is control systems, and it follows on from 110, except you do higher than second order control systems. And yeah, that's about more like if you're interested in robotics or things that move or having to control anything automatically, right? Now, like I said, it drops off, it follows 110, right? Then we have 160, control systems, which is really follows from 112, right? And it's all about, does the signal, how does the signal get where it's going and how much error comes along with it, or can you reduce the error, right? And you might say, well, if I want to work on robotics, then 132. However, if you've been reading about the Voyager spacecraft, that is a robot, right? But the most important thing right now is the communication systems on that robot, and they just remade contact with it, right? So you can have swarms of robots where they need to communicate wirelessly, right? And so if you look at robotics, right, you might need, what are you going to work on? The power system. Oh, that'd be 136. Sensors, interfacing sensors, 174. The whole embedded system, 138. Of course, 120 prepares you for this as well, right? So EE160 has a lab, and Professor Morellis is very passionate about it. And really, if you go to him and ask him to sell you on 160, right, it can almost help sell you on 132. Because if he gives you a great pitch and you still don't like it, well, then probably 132 is for you. I don't have a 132 proponent that I can send you to. But they're both useful courses. And if you wanted both, one would count for a technical elective. All right. Then just one last thing. You can take graduate courses for tech electives, but in general only one. However, in the circuit design space, right, 223 is analog design, 224 is digital high-speed design. I don't have any of these at the undergraduate level, right? So you could take both. And I don't really have an undergraduate quantum course for you to take. So, but this is, you decide, we talk about this in office hours. And again, I don't tell you what to do. I just try to tell you how to make a decision. But when you do make a decision on a graduate course, right, meaning you're enrolled and you can't drop, you have to email me to let me know so that I can fix it in the system, because it won't automatically pick it up. But that's, pretty much the talk I normally have in my office to get you started. And I'm hoping that by watching this video and realizing, hey, it's time to go to the Career Center, time to start practicing interviews, reading IEEE Spectrum, and even as I'm talking here, if you go to the IEEE club room for those tech talks, that's actually a career thing, right? You're actually trying to find out more what's out there, right? And you're about to graduate, and which is, I guess, sad for us because you're leaving, but we're also proud that you're going. And just know that we think you're great, and you're going to do great, and hopefully these technical electives will help you on your way to greatness, whether that's a job in industry, master's degree, job in industry, PhD, job in industry, or faculty. There's like a curse, right? We can't leave until we find our replacement. Well, I really like it here, but the future needs people like you to be professors. So that's it.